Things didn't work out the way that we planned. Reggae fusion ladies, if she needs someone to ease the wind, I will be there. And if she needs financial support, I will be there, of course. I will be there, yeah. Keep on reminiscing. But I just can't. No, I just can't. I'm trying to get over, but it's a problem. Me disappoint now that she's the best girl in the whole wide world. Hey, she's my girl. Someone to leave the way. I will be there. And if she needs financial support, I will be.
Hi, I am Kendi Pangat.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan pa Watagwan.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights on.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM.
If you don't respect the law, we chop your foot off.
Frank.
When is the last time we've had anybody charged with stock manipulation? When?
Forthright.
We need to build a society that's merit-based. Not who you're born, your last name.
Fearless. Businessman Michael Leachin speaks to CVM TV exclusively about the Jamaican economy, his debt, and his future with NCB.
When you've had a good run, a long run, is it time to hand over the chairmanship?
That's an exclusive one-on-one with businessman Michael Leachin this Thursday and Friday at 6:15 p.m. on CVM's Lead Story.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan for Watagwan.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan for Watagwan.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
If you don't respect the law, we chop your foot off.
Frank.
When was the last time we've had anybody charged with stock manipulation? When?
Forthright.
We need to build a society that's merit-based. Not who you're born, your last name.
Fearless. Businessman Michael Leachin speaks to CVM TV exclusively about the Jamaican economy, his debt, and his future with NCB.
When you've had a good run, a long run, is it time to hand over the chairmanship?
That's an exclusive one-on-one with businessman Michael Leachin this Thursday and Friday at 6:15 p.m. on CVM's Lead Story.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Center.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top
Good evening. Good evening. Tonight we're tracking the anatomy of a nation under pressure. We'll hear from the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, on the government's latest strategies to curb the violence staining our streets and his harsh words about groups like Jamaicans for Justice. But policy is only as strong as the protection it offers the vulnerable. Then we pivot to the consequences of that violence. In Westmoreland, a dispute at a gas station has left a woman clinging to life, exposing a deadly gap in our medical armory. Why in 2026 is a specialized burn unit still a blueprint instead of a brick and mortar reality? And finally, the move from the body to the soul. As we mark the centenary of Black History commemoration, we ask, where is a modern intellectual? In an era of viral clips and noise, has a voice of substance been replaced by a void of silence? This is Lead Story. For having one of the first interviews with Minister of National Security and Peace after he is back now on the job. We have with us this evening Dr. Horace Chang. Dr. Chang, good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Moore.
First, let me welcome you back. You returned to office on February 9, but admitted your rehabilitation wouldn't be complete until around the end of February 27. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling well. I give thanks. I'm really feeling well given what I went through. So it was major medical surgery. But the team did very well, and they have me doing well. As my rehab director said, they will have me 110% by the end of the month.
All right. So you're not yet fully medically cleared? You're still...
I'm medically cleared, yes. It said I should be 110%. With me now, 110% better than I was before I went to the surgery.
I have to check, because 110% looks like for somebody like you, it might not be enough, given the kind of work that you've done. Minister Chang, you join us today, though, as you are now resuming your duties as Minister of National Security and Peace. And the good news is that the Office of the Prime Minister has confirmed that for January 2026, we recorded 33 murders, the lowest monthly figure since 2001. Help us understand what's going on. What specific component of the big plan that you have, Plan Secure Jamaica, to which do you attribute this 55% reduction in murders when compared to 2025?
But there are a number of factors we have to consider. But going back to where we started, we indicated we would take steps to at least build the police force, both physically and numbers, to deal with the level of gangster regime in the country. So we have expanded the police force. There are now those 14,000 when they're below 12,000 before. In fact, there were more like 10,000. The commission leadership of the police force have increased not only training for basic courses, but introduced several change their formation, command structure, training of the officers who are taking charge. On the other hand, I think the investment in terms of police stations, in terms of the equipment given, in terms of the communication, have all come together at a tipping point. It's not yet complete, I must say quite frankly, but we're at what I call a critical point where you're beginning to get outcome. The support from the JDF continues. So you have a security team that is stronger and a better position to disrupt gangsters across the country. And that's what they're doing. So the gangs have been put on the run, and you have a reduction in murders. Violence is still an issue, especially domestic violence and other activities of social dysfunction, where we have in fact introduced a peace portfolio. But I think at this point in time, we are on top of the gangs, but there are still many young men out there with guns who will do harm to individuals. And we have to keep working at it, and in fact ensuring that the police get the kind of equipment they require. Some legislative changes are coming, some have gone before, and all of it will be put together to ensure that the criminal justice system works in the interest of the wider community. There's of course the courses we've worked on and other areas of the criminal justice system that are there, but the improvement as a result of investment in the police force to give them better tools, legislative them physically, and they themselves, their numbers increase to provide them with the kind of, to allow them the kind of deployment they require to deal with the gang scattered across the country.
Well, Minister, Jamaicans are hearing what it is that you're saying, and they're celebrating as well. At the close of 2025, they saw a 31-year low in murders, approximately 673 at the end of last year. That's a major and a significant statistical development. At the same time, however, police fatal shootings increased by 65% to 311. How should Jamaicans interpret those two numbers together?
Well, at the very beginning, I indicated when we have always had discussion with police fatal shooting and police in crime. And the other time, this is why INDECOM was established. INDECOM is an independent body with their own investigation and tools to investigate shooting by police. This was part of the simple as say, so there's no issue there. But there is, when you look at the statistics, I think there is a mathematical form to do it on a graphical basis that shows that the police increase in shooting is also in line with the reduction in murders, which would suggest that the police the fatal shooting is of murderers. When we are dealing with...
What do you say, Minister? The fatal shooting is what?
Fatal shooting, I think there's a mathematical term for it. When you do the graph, when you get them in line with the reduction in murders, it tells you that the people that police are shooting are murderers, and that which is their, when they are in combat or they are confronted by killers, they will end up being victorious. It means somebody will get killed. The fact is, as I said, it's very early in the game that when the police is properly equipped, intelligence increases, you will have increased police combat, and if we get increase in combat engagements, then killers will be killed.
So is the reduction in murder being achieved through more aggressive use of lethal force by the state and the police, Minister?
Intelligence application of police, from the police sphere. If you get to that, I was annoyed this morning. I am aware, and I can say it publicly without giving away police intelligence, over the mid-December dawn, we had what I described this morning and another media station, A1 intelligence, we confirm intelligence that there are about 6 or 7 gangs who have earmarked a number of people for death. And you'll have to get over there and stop them. The police officers gave up their holiday and were on the streets to seek to disrupt this operation. A number of them met with some of these gangsters, and there was fatal shooting. In a couple of cases, they successfully carried out their mission and murdered somebody, and the police intercepted on their way home, and in the combat, they were killed. The response was rather, I think, grossly unfair, and as I've said this morning, it was a broadside against the police because they didn't have cameras at the time. But when you're hunting in small groups, you can't have cameras. They are planned operations, but you cannot have cameras. And men who are about to shoot police cannot be asked to wait and see. You can't ask the policemen to take a shot first. And they intercepted not only, they stopped quite a number of shootings and intercepted a number, you got the fatal shootings. And what came out really was not, while as you have indicated earlier, there was quite a celebration by a large number of people that we have been able to reduce the killing. You're coming from 60 to 100,000. In my own constituency, it was much higher. To this level where people feel they can move around within some.
But Minister, in the October 2025 report, Minister, because you're talking quite a number of things. I don't want to lose track of all the juice that you've given us. In the October 2025 special report highlighted a 990% increase in fatalities during what you have noted as planned police operations. And this is since 2019. If these operations are pre-planned, why are there then 10 times more lethal than they were 5 years ago?
We are using them differently. All police operations are planned. All the things we have done, the police force to transform was a plan. The reconstruction of police force, the fixing of police stations was a planned operation. Rock, rebuild, overhaul, and construct. Everything we do in the police was planned to achieve a certain level.
But planned police operations going after these criminals that you specifically said, especially within the context of those who might have, of those 5 to 6 gangs, planned the deaths of certain individuals. You have said that the police would have gone after these persons during the holidays. Why not?
Because when you're trying to disrupt a gang, based on intelligence, you'll have plainclothes police officers went to the hotspot to find out what is happening to the leaders. Are they here? Are they gone somewhere to acquire firearms? Those policemen have to travel incognito. Then when you send policemen in small, big units to track them down, you know, if you put the policemen in uniform, 5, 10 cars, 40 men, that's a different operation. What they're looking is a small number of men who are putting their lives at risk, driving in different communities to identify the killers. When the killers hear the police are there, they go low. So you have less killing. But some of them do take off because they have communication themselves. They figure that this police officer won't be here. In one case, they went to rural, killed a man, and the police had to know, identify entry points back into the township. So there were 5 or 6 different police moves out there now looking for a car that had been. Those cars could not be policemen with cameras and armed.
In that particular case, perhaps in that particular case, Minister, with the details that you are aware of, that might be a difficulty. But the Jamaica Constabulary Force received 1,000 new body-worn cameras. In the first 5 days of 2026, 12 people were killed by the police. Not a single camera was activated in those particular cases. What's the command consequence then for acquiring these, spending millions of dollars and not having one turned on?
First of all, no, they were not turned on. They were using those situations. In fact, as I said to you, there were 6 groupings that they were tracking, and there should have been more police fatal shooting because the men were out there, had guns, they were out to kill people. And if they fired the police, they would be shot. That's just the reality. And if the policemen were not on the road, some of them had cameras, some of them were visible. That's why the men didn't shoot more. But those who took the chance went out and the police intercepted them, and that's what the police should be commended for. Secondly, police assignment of police equipment is a commissioner's responsibility. I am not questioning the police, and nobody outside the police force can tell them who to give cameras to. The police cameras is part of police equipment. First of all, as I said again, we did the research on the bag cameras that are suitable for Jamaica. We had to change the police uniform. The old pinstripe Red Sea uniform could not carry cameras. And from then, there was this outcry by some that they must have cameras. And when the cameras could not be placed properly and they showed the wrong image, they killed the police of corruption. The uniform we have acquired are able to do it, and so we have acquired the cameras. But they're assigned to policemen by the Commissioner of Police. Nobody else can tell them who to assign them.
But in one particular case where it was assigned, Minister, we have one officer telling Indicom that he did not record because he did not have a clip to secure the device. Is that an acceptable standard after $90 billion has been put in?
Those are operations I would not discuss in public or anywhere because as a commissioner, I have content the police. And there may have been incidents. There are 1,000 cameras, several thousand policemen. So that can happen incidentally. You can highlight that. It also may, what I know that in terms of police engagement with the public, like taxi operators on the road, there have been much less disputes because they're wearing cameras. There have been much less people in police fighting people on the streets over issues of vending, etc. They still happen, but when the policemen have cameras, there's a better engagement to the public, which is the primary purpose of cameras. Cameras don't stop shooting and violence, though. But cameras do give you allow for certain recording. Now, in terms of the issue of planned operations, and I want to come back to that another.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break with you, Minister Chang, then continuing to hear about the security plans for the nation as we speak with Minister of National Security and Peace here inside Lead Story.
Kingston, get ready! 100 Kingston presents the 10 times 10 anniversary party. When? Saturday, February 28th. We're at 100 Hope Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Live on stage, Christopher Martin, Beanie Man, Agent Sasko, and Egyptian. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission, 10,000. VIP, 25,000. Get your tickets at 100 Hope Road, Megamark, Waterloo, and Portmore. Genius Pharmacy, Ribis, Arden Road, Jannan Open House at Devon House, and Ribis Gas Station, Washington Boulevard.
Vitex, the vital solution for all your cleaning needs. Vitex laundry gel, one cap it goes a long way. Up to 100 wash and your clothes them right same way. It deep clean so no dirt no odor can stay. Vitex, the vital solution for all your cleaning needs. Vitex disinfect and kill germs, no delay. Vitex dishwashing liquid, with dirt and plate it don't play. Vitex bleach takes all the stains away. Vitex, distributed by Mossen Trading.
Enjoy peace of mind knowing that your hard-earned money is protected by the JDIC. That's right, the JDIC through the Deposit Insurance Scheme guarantees up to $1.2 million of your deposits in commercial banks, merchant banks, and building societies. This means your deposits, such as your savings and checking accounts, are covered. Rest easy, knowing that your deposits are secure. Your deposits always protected. For more information, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JDICJAM or visit our website at www.jdic.org.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Kingston, get ready! 100 Kingston presents the 10 times 10 anniversary party. When? Saturday, February 28th. We're at 100 Hope Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Live on stage, Christopher Martin, Beanie Man, Agent Sasko, and Egyptian. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission, 10,000. VIP, 25,000. Get your tickets at 100 Hope Road, Megamark, Waterloo, and Portmore. Genius Pharmacy, Ribis, Arden Road, Jannan Open House at Devon House, and Ribis Gas Station, Washington Boulevard.
Enjoy peace of mind knowing that your hard-earned money is protected by the JDIC. That's right, the JDIC through the Deposit Insurance Scheme guarantees up to $1.2 million of your deposits in commercial banks, merchant banks, and building societies. This means your deposits, such as your savings and checking accounts, are covered. Rest easy, knowing that your deposits are secure. Your deposits always protected. For more information, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JDICJAM or visit our website at www.jdic.org.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Power in great moments. If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Power in great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. Power in great moments. Relax, you got Chris and Charles. Oh, we have it all. When you think alone, think Chris and Charles.
Enjoy peace of mind knowing that your hard-earned money is protected by the JDIC. That's right, the JDIC through the Deposit Insurance Scheme guarantees up to $1.2 million of your deposits in commercial banks, merchant banks, and building societies. This means your deposits, such as your savings and checking accounts, are covered. Rest easy, knowing that your deposits are secure. Your deposits always protected. For more information, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JDICJAM, or visit our website at www.jdic.org.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Kingston, get ready! 100 Kingston presents the 10 times 10 anniversary party. When? Saturday, February 28th. We're at 100 Hope Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Live on stage, Christopher Martin, Beanie Man, Agent Sasko, and Egyptian. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission, 10,000. VIP, 25,000. Get your tickets at 100 Hope Road, Mega Mart, Waterloo, and Portmore. Gina's Pharmacy, Ribis Arden Road, Jannan Open House at Devon House, and Ribis Gas Station, Washington Boulevard.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
One of the first interviews with Minister Dr. Horace Chang, Minister of National Security and Peace, since he's back on the job after a leave of absence. He's hale and hearty, and he's speaking to us about security plans here inside the country. Mr. Chang, thanks so much for continuing to be with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Let me just say, there's one message I think before you go into the other commitment and future plans. One, INDECOM is a body that was set up by the government of Jamaica, not that one voluntarily, designed to investigate what incident of police interface with citizens. Therefore, that's the independent body design. So I have no part, and they are doing their job. They have investigators, they have all the tools of an investigative arm and can investigate police. So when a shooting takes place, it is only right that public should await outcome of investigation unless you have no confidence in them. What I was concerned about, and that the whole plethora of individuals, including they and individuals who feel they have a right to attacking the police, that they are implying they are murdering citizens because of the cameras. When they are catching murderers and killers and preventing people from being killed, that is what is happening. And no, that has other implications. I'm not limiting free speech. There has to be some confidence in INDECOM and let the cases go forward. They're charged in custody time, but that's what to do. When you send a public broadside, as it used to happen, in a time like this, when we are bringing murders from 60 to under 20, my concern there, when it's done without any evidence to verify that you are attacking not just the police and the government, not the problem. We have recruited 8,000 young Jamaicans, capable young men, who are up their commitment to public service, serve and protect. When you find the individual doing something wrong, your families come under. You have a younger brother at school, it disrupts them. And that's why I was concerned with when this article being a failure. The police leadership is strong, capable, and they will plan their operations. But if you keep making doubt that the men are carrying the legitimate activity, the families of these young Jamaicans suffer.
All right, let me, out of what you said.
They're not part of the law. They are young Jamaicans, born in the same space in Spanish and others. They have taken a route and they need to provide a model for them. But when they are being attacked by citizens who have a platform, that they're doing something illegal to get to, and it damages them emotionally.
All right, Minister, then out of what you said, two major things, INDECOM and civil society organizations, including one you specifically named, Jamaicans for Justice. Let's first talk about INDECOM and their investigations. You said the public should await the INDECOM investigations, but INDECOM recently cited the JCF for a breach of its statutory duty. It has to tell them if it's investigating its own police officers, and INDECOM says the Jamaica Constabulary Force isn't doing that. It's not telling them that they're investigating their own police-involved shootings and they're doing that without proper notification. Do you then support the JCF investigating its own fatal shootings without informing that very oversight body, INDECOM, that you spoke of, and following the law?
Where there is an incident of police shooting, I could report them, INDECOM is notified. What the police are doing, which is commendable, that they are investigating incidents in the police that we let alone, and you have seen them in terms of corruption and other activities. I feel very different so that we not only transform police, but so that institution, police institution, that body is in good order, and that we will take. We are putting down everybody. They have a responsibility within themselves to ensure that they can do some cleaning of operations as they transform. And they're doing that. But as far as we have not trying to put the INDECOM is not obstructed in their investigation, and they have to investigate us.
But INDECOM is citing them, saying that they're breaching the law by doing that, saying that all these notifications are not taking place.
If you'll have to get what he thinks, that they have a responsibility to the institution of the JCF to ensure that within the JCF there are rules and regulations.
Minister Chang? Well, we are going to continue our conversation with the Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang. We're continuing our conversation this evening with Minister of National Security and Peace and Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Horace Chang. Dr. Chang, thanks for continuing to be with us here. Before the break, we asked you about INDECOM coming out of the statements that you made. Let's now talk about Jamaicans for Justice, because you have made statements. Yes.
And if they have a challenge, the police, I will take side. They also have a discussion with the commissioner. The police has no hesitant dealing with INDECOM. So if it has come down the merge, they have made the issue, but they can have the discussion and say that I'm trying to settle without coming to me and know what. Because INDECOM has a critical role to play. What I don't want is you on the journey, just jumping ahead and making broad statements with evidence, because while INDECOM may have some concern with the level of conflict at this point in time, I've never heard before. What needs to be examined is the level of prosecution and substantive prosecution.
Well, that's not INDECOM's job, that's not JFJ's job either. And given that you have said Jamaicans for Justice is one of those organizations that you particularly have said are broadsiding the police with their concerns, JFJ's founding mandate as an organization is specifically to provide redress in instances where the power of the state is used against the individual. Given that that's their core mission, to protect the constitutional right to life from state excesses, isn't there concern about an over 65% increase in police killings a direct fulfillment of their legal duty, rather than, as you have called it on another radio station, blood money?
JFJ, the non-government organization in which I had asked a part to play in the original founding when they came out of what acting multiple days of some 50 being done and the box and it's not political action was done daily, but we're not political. We made that very clear. Nobody expected them to become part of the party, but they were supported heavily by the nuclear party, and I was part of the organization model. That's the problem with that. But so there are moments when citizens of the country who can come together to ensure that government is operating in a reasonable and responsible manner. But it is on this level to broadly attack the law enforcement institution like police, undermine their confidence and damage the emotion of new officers, functional reports, and in fact can hurt their family. When you're in a society of high violence, look, this is not something that happens that some suburban land. You're on around 60 to 400 murders. When I walk streets in my country, people no matter who was killed, no matter which home, nobody was killed in. That's where we're coming from, and that's what I'm protecting and preventing. Now, when you undermine the confidence that your officers don't to prevent that from recurring, I think that's not it. And I will always honor it, and I will not give any support to that. And they have no right to do it. It is damaging to the people who are in the force, and it is something that's not practiced. I mean,
but JFJ has come up.
Some of it just supposed to register, one, but in the JFJ, maybe one person who was the word. Fox against the point, comes from line. If we had a commissioner of the caliber of commissioner they come outside from any other comments, you don't get a stop the already.
But hold on, Minister, JFJ came out with a statement today in response to your comments about them earlier today, and now the comments that you're making about them today. Again, it seems in their statement they've said that a broadside of this nature by the minister unnecessarily pits officers against a civil society organization dedicated to shared goals of safety and justice, which is not conducive to national progress. They've also said that your statements are defamatory and they're seeking legal advice about it. Is that something that you are mindful of, given then that JFJ's job is to look at how the police are operating, and that's different from the job of other bodies and organizations?
Every citizen has a right to know police. Every citizen, the principal law of the agency, and therefore they have a right and that they are not under themselves outside the law. Not JFJ. That's a responsibility of every citizen. That was a nice statement that sent out. But if they're not concerned, when you have, then I need to say that, murder in Bendo, they haven't had a massive for a long time. In Martin today, on top of Main Street, just focus on the other street. 7 people stop, who died. Nobody said anything, no, what they were doing there at the shop. It's like a privilege to me. All working people work in the shops. Something they do regularly that I think is their right as part of the police. They go prancing with me, they go shop on the weekend, and they some the older men they wear from the work is out, they talk and start upon the spot and land in there and walk home. When you shoot up, that's exactly damaging sort of bad. But none of these right people saying about that. Then the police three murderers. And the police, especially the police, so in
the context of what you said then, Minister, that very specific context there, but the broader one in which JFJ is speaking, are you considering withdrawing the statement that you have made, that broader statement about them receiving?
I'm not confident because I'm very concerned that this softness of the police in terms of people saying moved on violent society is being undermined by activities by individuals who say they are out there to achieve peace and protect the Constitution. The Constitution is designed to protect Jamaicans from that kind of nuclear violence. And the police is designed not to get this to do so. Anybody who takes action does see things in a manner that will not only undermine confidence of our police officers, but could put their families under social pressure is doing something wrong, and I will condemn it.
Minister of National Security and Peace. We absolutely have to, Minister, but it's good to have had you inside Lead Story with us, and welcome back to work.
Thank you. And I'm going to even hear some of the people talking that I will do, and I discuss their case and my case. That's fine. But at this point in time, I say what I say because I'm concerned about the welfare of the police officers and the welfare of the wild Jamaican community to the forces that are protecting. You know, and I told you that one of the things that changed so dramatically. There are a lot of people cannot accept that the change has come to San. Nobody believed, even when I said a year ago or a year after that we could make 800 murders.
And you did in fact achieve that with the 673, Minister Chang. Certainly that we're going to then be having a conversation about, as we have follow-up conversations, not only about the plans but the policies of the government going forward. Minister, thank you so much for joining us inside. All right. So that was Minister of National Security and Peace and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang, one of his first interviews back on the job, talking to us about some very, very hot statements he has recently made. Stay with us inside Lead Story.
Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome to NLA Connect, the National Land Agency's customer engagement platform. NLA Connect is a simple, user-friendly platform designed to help you share your feedback, get support and updates about land-related matters. Available 24/7, NLA Connect allows you to share suggestions, comments and commendations, submit queries and report issues, attach files with your requests, track requests and get real-time status updates, connect with NLA client engagement officers, and provide feedback on the service received by the platform. We're making it easier for you to connect with us. You can access NLA Connect via our website, using the kiosk at any of our offices or scanning the QR code displayed at our locations. Need any help along the way? Check out our FAQs section. It has all the answers you need in one location. NLA Connect, your voice, our priority.
Kingston, get ready! 100 Kingston presents the 10 times 10 anniversary party. When? Saturday, February 28th. We're at 100 Hope Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Live on stage, Christopher Martin, Beanie Man, Agent Sasko, and Egyptian. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission, 10,000. VIP, 25,000. Get your tickets at 100 Hope Road. Mega Mart, Waterloo, and Port Moore. Gina's Pharmacy, Ribis, Arden Road. Jannan Open House at Devon House. And Ribis Gas Station, Washington Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome to NLA Connect, the National Land Agency's customer engagement platform. NLA Connect is a simple, user-friendly platform designed to help you share your feedback, get support and updates about land-related matters. Available 24/7, NLA Connect allows you to share suggestions, comments and commendations, submit queries and report issues, attach files with your requests, track requests and get real-time status updates, connect with NLA client engagement officers, and provide feedback on the service received by the platform. We're making it easier for you to connect with us. You can access NLA Connect via our website, using the kiosk at any of our offices or scanning the QR code displayed at our locations. Need any help along the way? Check out our FAQs section. It has all the answers you need in one location. NLA Connect, your voice, our priority.
Enjoy peace of mind knowing that your hard-earned money is protected by the JDIC. That's right, the JDIC through the Deposit Insurance Scheme guarantees up to $1.2 million of your deposits in commercial banks, merchant banks, and building societies. This means your deposits, such as your savings and checking accounts, are covered. Rest easy knowing that your deposits are secure. Your deposits always protected. For more information, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JDICJAM or visit our website at www.jdIC.org.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Jamaica, the countdown is on. Reggae music. February 28th and March 1st at Hope Gardens, Kingston. Experience 2 unforgettable days of music and culture at the Lost in Time Festival. Featuring Chronics, Protege, Leela IK, Jester Royal, Jenna and Mortimer, Tisanchin, Dennis Stevens, Ziani, and many more. Tickets available at Kaya Kingston and Drax Hall, the live store in Pimento's Devon House, and online at lostintimefestival.com. Lost in Time Festival. Don't miss the moments.
It's February 2026 and it continues to be Black History Month. 100 years ago, Carter G. Woodson launched what was called Negro History Week. It's expanded into the month that we have today. But we ask, where is the Jamaican intellectual in all of this as we look at all of Black history? In an era of viral clips and 15-second fame, has the voice of substance been replaced by a void of noise? And are we celebrating history or just reciting it? Here to challenge our perspective is Stephen Golding, president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association of Jamaica. Hi, Stephen. Thanks so much for joining us. Stephen, you're on mute.
I just realized.
Oh.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us, Stephen. Stephen, you have made it very clear to us in our conversations during this month that it's the centenary of Black History commemoration. Given the state of our crime and social disputes and all the things that are going on here in Jamaica? Have our intellectuals, those people who we want to help guide and teach us, have they failed to reach the corner or the masses with messages like those of Marcus Messiah Garvey, messages of self-reliance?
You know, that argument has been going on a long time, specifically when it comes to the issue of teaching Garveyism in school, because of course Garveyism, is a term for a racial and cultural education, as it was defined by Marcus Garvey himself. But the question we've always asked is, how can teachers teach something they themselves haven't been taught? So one of the things we've been focusing on, particularly in this Black History Month centennial celebration in 2026, is the topic of decolonizing the educational curriculum, and particularly at the early childhood stage. And you would be surprised how deep the seeds of white supremacy are that we implant in the minds of our children at such a critical age between 3 and 7, where the things that they learn at that age, they never forget for the rest of their life. You know, we did several presentations at the Teachers College and they were amazed when you break down nursery rhymes that we are still teaching, nursery rhymes that were written 300-400 years ago. Ba ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Right? One for the master, one for the dame, one for the little boy who lived down the lane. Well, who is the master and who is the dame? And why is it the little boy lives down the lane? Right? We've ignored this for too long. The fact that, as Garvey says, we have a right to promulgate a literature and a doctrine of our own. And we have to start at the most critical time in our children's lives. So that's what we've been doing for this Black History Month. But it's an ongoing struggle and it's an ongoing battle. So when you ask a question about our Black intellectuals, no, there have been some things we've overlooked. Highly overlooked, and we need to sankofa, as they say. We need to look back and retrieve and repair.
Help us understand, because Marcus Messiah Garvey is a national hero, Jamaica's first. Who are some other Black intellectuals that we should also be looking to if we're hoping to build out a better sense of the Black self, especially during Black History Month, and as a country that has a 90+% majority of people of African descent within the country?
Excellent question. And one of the names that I'm afraid will be lost in our historical landscape when we talk about great educators is the very man who was referred to as the father of Negro history, who himself was a Jamaican born in Negril in September of 1880, migrated to the United States, self-published, and wrote books on the issue of race and African history, Black history itself, that even Marcus Garvey himself recommended as part of his curriculum for juvenile members of the UNIA. And that man's name is Joel Augustus Rogers. There's not a statue or a building named after him. He gave his last lecture in Jamaica in 1965. He died in 1966. But this is the man primarily responsible for future Black historians like John Henry Clark. He influenced people like Arturo Schomburg, who the Schomburg Center in Harlem is named after. These are the people who spent years scouring the libraries of Europe and reclaiming Black history, things that the Europeans knew that were not taught to the descendants of Africans during the period of the Ma'afa, during the period of the transatlantic slave trade and subsequent to that, because, in order for a minority to control a majority, they needed to control their minds, and you can't control the minds if you give them certain information that is liberating. So the reclamation of Egypt as being part of Africa, the fact that Black people built the first cities, the richest man in the world was a Black man, that Black Africans crossed the Atlantic before Columbus. Joel Augustus Rogers and others spent many years and decades reclaiming that history, repairing that history. But for several decades after that, Black people who spoke about those things were looked at as if they were preaching some nonsense from a cult. It's only now that people are beginning to understand the relevance and the truth of what these pioneers were saying. The fact that even in Christopher Columbus's diary, he wrote that the natives told him that he was not the first to come across the ocean, that others had come before him, but that they had dark skin, right? Educators used to scoff at that a few decades ago, and now those things need to be written in our history books, and they need to be taught more forthrightly, in a sense that as Jamaicans, as African descendants, we can really own and claim our history as the oldest branch of the human race and the builders of civilization.
You are not only talking about this, you're putting things into practice, helping people now be able to sit and see what it is that not only Black intellectuals have come up with, but the kind of decolonization of the mind that you have made very clear and others needs to happen. And Black History Month is a really good time to have that sort of conversation. Because you focused on our children, because you focused on those very small minds, what is it that the UNIA and you as its president will be holding now to make sure that not only those educators better understand and appreciate what they're teaching, but also during this month that we can have a greater appreciation of how close or far away our educational practices are to building the better Black mind?
You know, let me make it clear that when Black History Month started as Negro History Week, it didn't become Black History Month until 1970. It wasn't officially recognized by even the US government until 1976. But when it was created, it wasn't in the sense that our history can be taught in 1 week. And I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, you know, February is the shortest month and we shouldn't have a Black History Month. We should learn Black history every day, which is true, particularly for us as a country of majority, made up of a majority of African descendants. But when what began in 1926, it was as a direct action, right, to repair the educational curriculum that was being given to quote-unquote Negro children at the time.
I want to hear about the event, Stephen, because I have 30 seconds and I want to make sure that people show up to the event tomorrow that's taking place. Talk to me about that before they kick me out, Stephen.
You should have told me it was the event you were talking about.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're giving a lecture at the Michael University College. It's at 11 a.m. We're inviting all the early childhood educators in the area to come out to that to receive a free copy, a complimentary copy of our Daddy Marcus nursery rhymes, and to listen to the presentation dissecting the old British nursery rhymes we're still using and giving you the history that is enveloped in the new nursery rhymes. But let me also say this, Jody, as in terms of what we're doing. This year is a special year. This year is not only 100 years since Negro History Week, but this is 500 years since the first slave ship left Africa and crossed the Atlantic to the Americas. It was a Portuguese ship. It carried enslaved Africans to Brazil in 1526. Hadn't been done before that. Before that, enslaved Africans had been brought from Europe to the Dominican Republic. But it was in 1526 that the commercialization of chattel slavery and the real onset of the transatlantic slave trade took place. So one of the things we're asking not only educators but the leaders of